Welcome to the Shaun Society podcast, the podcast for all of us teeny boppers who were head over heels in love with our teen dream, Shaun Cassidy. We believe that it's time to tell our stories in our words, remembering the first time we discovered Shaun. Our podcast will feature stories of concerts, memorabilia, and everything Shaun. Today, we will be talking about how each of us discovered Shaun and the impact he made on us. So come along with us on this journey to share the stories that helped us create the Shaun Society podcast with your hosts, myself, Penny, Dame Madonna,
Cindy,
and Doris.
What's it like at a Shaun Cassidy concert at the Checker Dome? Well, it's several things. It's noisy, it's crowded, it's exciting. Listen. You here this afternoon?
Because I love Shaun Cassidy.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shaun Society podcast. Today, we are going to talk about Shaun's concerts, then and now. We are going to go back to 1978 to Shaun's U.S. tour, February 4th, 1978, Salt Lake City, Utah.
woo!
Kids are much more on top of it than a lot of people give them credit for. And you can't, bend down to them, you know? I go up there and you can't jive them, you know? They know what's going on. And they're the greatest audience in the world for that reason, because they're very honest, you know? They don't have a lot of walls up.
Man, I'm so jealous. I can't imagine the energy that was felt that day in Utah.
Lots of energy.
Nonetheless, all over the United States, because every little girl and young woman was so excited that their city was going to be next. And you know what? Tickets, $7.50.
Or saved your babysitting money for that.
Yes.
I remember saving to go to these concerts.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be in the DeLorean and going back in time.
I've
to
got
1978.
goosebumps.
I could feel the electricity.
Yes. You know, I've got goosebumps, and I did not get to go to any of those concerts. Well, many of you did. I was just playing his albums over and over and over again as if I was there.
But you had the energy.
But I had the energy. But you know what? I did go to his first concert when he came back after his hiatus. After 40 years, I did go to the City Winery, August 29th, 2021.
Where we all met.
Yeah, where we all met.
So can I just say, everybody, welcome to Shaun Concerts Then and Now.
Yes, the do run. Here we come. But, you know, just getting ready for that show, I was like a little girl again. I was giddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I changed my outfit probably 4 or 5 times. I had to work that day, and my client was like, just put something on and get out of my house and go to your show.
It has to be perfect, you know.
And, you know, and just seeing him right there live, you know, it even though he's, was 62 then?
Yep.
I still saw that 18-year-old boy, or, you know.
Me too.
And
Me too. I thought the same thing.
And that energy was so unreal. And I'm getting emotional.
That
thinking about
excitement,
it.
the excitement came back again.
Yes.
That City Winery show was the kickoff of my birthday weekend.
Yes, it was.
My birthday week.
Hey, listen.
And I could not believe how excited I was.
Oh,
Just to be
yeah.
right there in front of them.
Like a vision in the darkness of 1,000 lost and lonely nights. But my heart threw away the key. I was blind as a man could be. Oh, darling, you can never see the light. Yeah. Hey, Gee, won't you come out tonight? The stars are dancing like diamonds in the moonlight. We can never find a better time to be in love.
But, you know, after the show, I just took my chances. And when he walked by to shake hands, oh, my God, I'm getting emotional. I said, hey, Shaun, can we get a selfie? And he said, sure, hurry up. So no one else, he said, sure, hurry up. And I said, I don't know how to do a selfie because I was so nervous. Yeah, but
I think I saw you take that
selfie.
picture.
I got I got a selfie with Shaun. But hey, let's go back to 1978.
1978,
Yeah.
March of 1978. I was there. I was so excited. I could not believe it. But I was worried I was not going to get to go. There was a big snowstorm in Chicago.
Yes.
And I thought my mom is not going to take me to this show. And I had tickets to both shows, 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. All excited to go. And the snow started. And I was so upset my mom was going to tell me no. But she ended up getting on the phone with her friend who said, sure, I'll take you to Shaun's show in the blizzard.
And that's the show I couldn't go to.
Yes.
I was so sad.
I know.
My grandma had just died, and I
Oh.
couldn't ask to go to the concert.
Right.
So, but all my friends went, and they shared all of their excitement.
Well, that's
Yeah. Well, after trudging through the snow, we got there and it was like being in another world. The whole place was all teeny boppers. There's music playing. Everybody's excited.
Cindy, where was that show?
That was a Universal Amphitheater.
International Amphitheater.
International Amphitheater. That's where they had the circus at, I believe.
here in
They used
Chicago.
to
Yes.
do wrestling, roller derby, and the circus at what we
Yes.
call the Amp.
And now
Yeah,
they
the
turned it into a
Chicago is.
teeny bopper arena. And the first show, I had seats way in the back on the floor. And I remember standing up on my folding chair. And when he's ready to come out, I couldn't even scream. I was frozen. He popped out of that ring, and it scared me because I didn't know that's how he was making the entrance. And I stood up on my chair, and I just froze like the same time like when I saw him on American Bandstand. I'm like, I can't believe I'm in the same room as Shaun Cassidy. I couldn't even scream. I just sat there, and I don't even know what song it was.
Well, as a 56-year-old woman in 2021, that's exactly how I felt.
I would have done the same thing at the winery instead of my chair if I could have.
Oh, right. But I mean, it was just unreal. But spoiler alert, he does not jump out of a ring anymore. Does not. But
I don't know if he bounced back or not. Because remember, he talks about that in his show. He
Right.
bounced off of the ring sometimes. I don't remember that happening in Chicago.
No, he didn't do it. Oh, no.
I don't know.
Well, I like the way he enters now. It was amazing.
Yeah, hiding behind the curtain and
Oh,
like kind of
my.
playing peekaboo.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's it now.
Peekaboo.
But Cindy,
Can't wait to tell you how I felt.
did you go to the afternoon show or the evening show?
I went to both shows. I went to 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock show.
So did I.
7 o'clock, we were a little bit closer to the side of the stage. I can't tell you what color he was wearing. He was in white or red. He had the scarf on.
So you guys said he had an afternoon and an evening show,
Mhm.
but all his shows in 78 was strictly on the weekends because during the week they were recording the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, it was on the weekend, but they
Yes.
sold out so fast, and they had to figure out somehow to get these girls because you had to wait in line for tickets back then. You couldn't do them online. You waited in line for the tickets, so these girls were in line, and there were so many of them that the management company had to figure out how to put another show on. So I think the 7 o'clock show was the first one, and they added a 2 o'clock, and there we were right back in line again.
Yeah. Well, I'm
For
telling
both of
you,
them.
with the shows today, I mean, they sell out so fast. I bet you if he could do 2 shows in one day,
Yeah.
I bet they would all sell out.
But we had to go to the record store to get our tickets. Remember that?
Yeah.
We had to go to the record store to buy our tickets, so we had to stand in line at the record store. And I had to get a ride there because I was a teenager. I didn't drive yet, so I was worried I wasn't going to get tickets. But, yep, I got in line and got tickets again. So it was a very long day, and the snow continued all day. But my mom picked us up, and she didn't complain once about it.
You know, I was supposed to go, and I actually had tickets to his concert in February 14th, Valentine's Day in
Oh, right.
2019. And I was meeting my sister there. She lived in California, and he had the full band and everything. And I was so excited. Oh, my God, so excited. And Chicago had a snowstorm. And so we were delayed. And then, then there was an engine problem. And then there was something else. And I'm like, that's it.
What snowstorms with Shaun shows? I don't understand that.
Well, it's Chicago.
It's Chicago. It's not Shaun shows. It's Chicago. So needless to say, I did not make it to that one, but my sister did send me a clip of each song, and she was in the front row. So at least she got to live my dream on that one.
Oh, that was
But
nice.
yeah, so, we all have some kind of cool story.
Yes.
And
Yeah. I was only 9 years old, and I just loved his face, and I was able to order stuff out. I didn't even realize he was doing concerts because I lived out in the country, and some of my friends were telling me that they would get to meet him. And so I just thought they meant they were going to meet him like at a restaurant or something. So I ripped up a little piece of paper and I wanted to write "I love you" on there and have my friends give it to him. And then I thought, no, he would think that was too much. So I will just put "you're sweet." Well, I put down "you're sweat," and they made fun of me, laughed at me. And I was so embarrassed because I thought it was just a cute little note that would go directly to Shaun Cassidy.
so Dane.
Thinking,
Oh, sorry. When was your first concert then?
well, my first concert hit me hard because, like I said, when I was 9 years old, I never even thought I would ever see him. So I thought I was doing good to rip up a little piece of paper and send him a note, and just enjoy his many books and posters that I had. But my first concert was in Nashville. I just know how I felt. Speaking of how he enters, well, he plays his guitar and he walks out. I could not believe that I saw him and that he was walking out with his guitar and he was coming out from that curtain and it was really him. And Cindy's daughter was sitting to the right of me, a little bit ahead of me, and she saw me and she saw me crying. And she had the sweetest little look in her eyes. I'll never forget that. And I just know that my 8-year-old self could not believe that my age now finally got to feel the dream of my bucket list that I wanted so much.
And
I
now,
thought that's, special.
and now you've seen him, what, 8 times?
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. We've all seen him 8
We've all
times.
been there with
Yeah,
you.
right?
So we're the Shaun squad.
Yeah, kind of like I'm just going to toss this in there real quick. It is show in Ohio 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. The women there, and even some of the men there were saying it was their first show. And, or wearing T-shirts that said, "I've waited 45 years for this." And you know what? They all had that same feeling. They all got...
Everybody was excited.
Yes.
We were frozen.
Very, very excited.
Yeah. And, and again, we're all emotional when we go see Shaun. And
My first show was actually in 1979 or 1980, I forget. But it was
girl.
August and it was summertime, and we have an outdoor festival called Chicago Fest on the lakefront every year back in those days. And I went to Chicago Fest with my whole family, and nobody was interested in seeing Shaun except my sister and I and my nephew, who was 3 years old, in a stroller. So there we were, standing in line to see Shaun at Chicago Fest, and we got in, and we were about 7 rows from the stage, and I could not believe it. When he came through that circle, that ring, people were going absolutely insane, and I was just standing there, staring. And my nephew, again, was in a stroller. My brothers had gone off to see whoever, and my sister and I were just standing there in awe. And then it started raining, or it rained a little before the show, I think, and he came out. And I remember my favorite Shaun Cassidy song is "She's Right." And I remember when the intro of "She's Right" came on, that was the first time in the whole concert that I went absolutely berserk and started
I think I remember
screaming.
that too. I remember when they did that song at that Navy Pier show you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes. So I had a little thing now. Every time we went to a show, the 4 of us, when "She's Right" started, I would be the only one screaming.
she's not kidding. I've witnessed it.
Well, now when
Yeah, it
he's
was a
at
good
these
show.
concerts, they're smaller, and that's nice too. But they will keep growing and growing and growing as the secret comes out that he's doing shows. And with the small show, I felt like that was wonderful, as it was my first, because it was like you're just hanging out with friends, and it felt like he was just walking out to personally just play for us. I felt like my 8-year-old self never thought I'd ever be in the same room as my first crush.
You know, I can't imagine what Amy Carter felt when she got to
Yes,
see him.
She went to the show.
And he came to the White House to meet her and her family. I mean, how cool to have Shaun Cassidy come to your house on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Well, when you're the president's daughter, you get to have it.
My daddy didn't get Shaun to come to my house. I can guarantee that.
You know, but then got to go to a show. I'm sure she had a great seat. So, Amy Carter, if you're out there and you're listening, you need to send us an email and tell us all about
I
it.
would love to hear that story.
Squad Society.
Join
at
us. Yeah, join us
gmail.com.
on
Yeah.
and
So,
join us on Facebook too.
yes.
Definitely.
But the shows back then were so electrifying. Everybody has their favorite concert. The shows today, for me, like Dame said, I think I enjoy them because they are so up close and personal.
Yes.
When I walked into the City Winery, that first show, I did not expect that my seat was going to be 4 feet from Shaun. I never thought that would happen.
Oh, no.
So, and you go in, and, you know, the City Winery shows were good, but I really think I enjoy now much better the small theater shows. When we went to the Displays Theater here in Chicago and the Arcada, I loved the small theater show.
That was a perfect size.
Yeah.
Perfect size.
Well,
for a
I
show.
looked at online, and I believe they hold just under 800 seats, like 797 or something. And I believe the Ohio show was even smaller, like about
I think
500
so.
seats. And so no matter where you sit, you almost have just a good seat. And he did say at one point, he does like the smaller venues now.
Yep.
Because he gets
Better.
to see everybody.
more intimate.
It's more intimate. And, you know, I just like, you know, the storytelling and, you know, how he talks about David and how he talks about his mom and how he talks about his dad
Exactly.
and does, you know, a song for each of them. And it draws you in and it makes you feel like you're part of his family.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, but back in the 70s, you know, obviously it was like going to a Garth Brooks concert, you know.
it was too many people. It was too loud. Too many girls screaming.
I don't know
Couldn't
that
hear.
it was too many, but it was very loud, and it was just a different feeling.
Yeah.
I can remember the excitement and everything. It was just a different kind of feeling than it is when you go in and you sit down and he's right in front of you, looking you straight in the eye, telling you these stories, and you feel like you grew up with those people that
Right.
he's talking about.
Well,
He's
we
talking
did.
about David Cassidy,
We did.
for goodness sake.
Yeah, we grew up with David. We grew up with Shirley. I
Yeah.
mean, oh
I was
my
too
God.
young to like David, so I liked the Partridge Family, but I was too young to put his posters on my wall. And then I saw American Bandstand. I didn't even know he had a brother. I totally flipped out.
Yep.
Wow. It was
Hey,
amazing.
Cindy, what happened with that backstage pass story that you were telling me about when I was at your house?
Oh, well, that was with the Chicago show. I brought a friend with me, and somebody gave her a backstage pass, but she unfortunately didn't take me with her.
Chicago show then
Chicago.
or now?
Then,
Oh,
78.
1978.
Yeah, way back when. She got a
That's when
pass
she had
from...
the real backstage.
Yeah, somebody gave her one and went backstage, and she took a picture of Shaun with 2 girls, and that was my souvenir.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Rub it in.
It was somebody else. Yes,
Yeah,
but
she was just rubbing it in.
I was not able to go backstage because the show started, and Shaun was on the stage and not backstage, so I was not able to. But that was an experience.
Yeah. So
Good memory, those
any
two.
other shows that we need to talk about in
I wanted to tell you a
1978?
funny story about the Alpine Valley show.
Okay.
Because this goes back to the magazine. You know, it tells you Shaun's favorite color is brown, and he likes flowers in your hair. So I wear brown to this Alpine Valley outdoor concert. It was in Wisconsin, and I put a flower in my hair. And I had drew this picture of Shaun, and I thought, well, you know, if I get to meet him, I'll just follow what it tells me to do. So I went there with this brown outfit on and everything. And my friend and I were walking around, and all of a sudden her sister came up to us and gave us these backstage passes that she got from somebody and freaked me out.
Did you meet him?
I did. So what it was a radio contest, and whoever won gets 2 tickets to meet Shaun at Alpine Valley. I did not win the concert, but her sister went up to the DJ or the radio station representative, and they said, "Did you win?" And she said, "Yeah, I won." So she gave her 2 passes, and she came up to me and my friend and slapped these passes on us and scared me half to death. And I'm like, "What is going on here?" She goes, "You're going backstage to meet Shaun Cassidy."
All right.
I'm like, "What?" But I'm already prepared, right? I got my brown outfit on, I got my flower in my hair, so I'm ready.
Well, yeah, you came prepared.
I came prepared. I got my picture I drew of him. But there was like 100 of us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a small group. So you go backstage, you get in a line. Shaun is on the other side of the table. You cannot get near him. He's like barricaded in the back. And you stand in line and you get your autograph and you get out. That's what your instructions were. You get in, you get out. So I get in there, I put my autograph in front of him, and I had David's signature on one side, and I said, "Hey, Shaun, can you sign this?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's my brother." I said, "Yeah, can you sign next to your brother?" So I get my autograph and I get out of line. But that's not enough for me, right? So I go back in line again.
Never enough, Cindy. Never enough.
I'm like, they're not going to tell me I'm done already because I didn't get a picture with him or anything. So I get back in line again. I handed him my picture, and I had actually drawn 2 pictures, and I gave it to Shaun. He said, "Oh, is this for me?" And I said, "No."
You told Shaun no.
I said, "No. Can you sign this for me?" But I had another one in an envelope that I was going to give to him. So I went to hand it to him, and his bodyguard took it right away and said, "Thank you." And he didn't let Shaun touch it.
So he did not comment your flower in your hair and
No.
your brown outfit?
He did not.
Shaun, if
did
you're
not.
listening, she wore a brown outfit and put flowers in her hair.
I went according
just
to
for
the
you.
magazine.
So-
That's right? They're always right.
All
No,
right.
Tiger Beat never lied to us.
Right.
Never.
But
No.
that concert, that Alpine Valley concert, I couldn't go to that one. We lived in a city, and that was in Wisconsin, and I had no idea how to get to Wisconsin at 16 years old.
Yeah, we had my sister, my
there was
friend's sister drive us.
But I remember the radio station back in the day, the huge radio station was WLS, and Shaun did a pre-show interview. I recorded that interview on my little cassette recorder with the microphone next to the radio, and I hit record and play at the same time, or however you did it, and I got the interview, and I still have my cassette of Shaun being interviewed on WLS.
I wonder if it was from my friend Jeff Davis. I was friends with a DJ with them, and there was a
might have
picture with
been
him.
Jeff
Yeah.
Davis. However, I'm afraid to put the cassette into anything now because it'll
It's
crumble
too
up.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good though to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I know Shaun is really going strong right now with his concerts now. And he's out in New York. And let me tell you, if we thought the energy in 1978 was electrifying and you could feel it, I mean, overwhelming. If you could feel it from Utah all over the United States, imagine what we're feeling from New York. I mean, the things we're hearing and reading and seeing on Facebook and Instagram.
The
I mean,
reviews,
oh my God,
the magazine reviews,
Oh.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Bernie Taupin showed up at this last concert.
I'm getting goosebumps
New
just
York.
thinking about it. Like,
Can you imagine if we went to these concerts today, like the girls were back then, and totally screaming?
oh no,
It would
He'd be running again.
oh,
He'd be like,
no.
okay, I need a 40-year break.
Yes, we have to maintain ourselves as we're older.
Yeah,
We don't want
so
that to happen.
yeah, but the like the Ohio concert, I think was pretty. I mean, it was definitely energizing, and
Yeah.
but which one was after that? Oh, Pittsburgh, wasn't it? Pittsburgh
think
or
so.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Where he and Taylor Swift had a show the same night. The same night. But he had a sold out show, and so didn't she.
So, no
What does that tell
competition
you?
there.
No competition there. And Shaun had even posted a picture of some younger girls that were at the show. Like, we'd rather see you
Oh,
than,
that's true.
yeah.
That's
So
cute.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, those were the days.
Well, I didn't go to any shows, and like I said, except for Chicago Fest in 1980, I think. But all of my friends who went to the International Amphitheater and to Alpine Valley, they would come back and tell me all of the stories and make sure I knew exactly what was going on. But today, I made up for it. I
You
have
did.
been to eight
Yes.
recent Shaun Cassidy concerts.
I'm right up there with you.
And we've been there together.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have
Yes.
All
all
of us.
gone to all of
we've
those
all-
shows.
Yeah, almost.
These
together.
are my
Almost.
real sisters.
Yeah.
Every one of you.
So just the like we were saying, the energy is electrifying. I have met some of the most awesome people in Kent, Ohio, just this past 2 weeks ago, June 11th or something like that.
I was there with
Yeah.
you.
And we were all there. And these ladies who came up to us were almost just like they were 12, 13,
Yeah.
14 years old
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, that's what I was
They
saying.
could not believe that this was the first time they were seeing them and they were going to have that experience.
You know, the only thing different this time is a lot of them had their husbands with them, you know? And their husbands were so excited for their wives. They were just so thrilled that their wife got to see Shaun Cassidy for the first time.
That's true.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's what
Yep.
they
And
say.
now they understand us.
Yeah.
My first
Because-
show, I had my brothers with me, and they were not going to see them for the first time. So they went away and left my sister and I to watch, which I'm very happy they did because brothers can be ruthless.
Right, right. But you know what's different about today versus back then is this time people are connecting more. The fans are connecting more. Like back in 78, I would not have had friends like you guys.
Well,
back then, we didn't connect like that.
we would have had to be pen pals. I mean,
Right.
we did not have
Yes.
social media, so
Right.
we would have been writing each other's addresses down
Mhm.
and writing letters and then sending our photographs, like, send me your picture, I'll send you
Right.
my picture, you know, after we went to the photomat
Exactly.
to get the pictures printed, you know.
Exact- And then it never happened.
Yeah.
We promised
And we
and
sure
it
wouldn't be
did-
doing this.
Right.
If it was back then, we wouldn't have this
Right.
capability that we have now. And so this is amazing.
So I think
And this is an amazing time to see Shaun, too. So I have to say thank you to Shaun.
yeah.
So, anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up for today's episode. I hope
Yeah.
everybody out there felt the energy just like we did, got the goosebumps.
Tell us your story.
Yes.
Send us an email at ShaunSquadSociety@gmail.com and let us know how you had your first Shaun Cassidy concert.
Yeah, who went to those shows?
Yes. And we're,
Then and now.
and you never know, we might, you know, talk about it in a future
Feature.
episode. But before we go, here is Dame's Closet.
Oh, yeah. Let me get something out of my closet. In my vault, I have so many things that have to do with Shaun from the 70s. And now I'm adding, because of the concerts now, this is one of my favorite pieces that I have. It is such a nice piece because it is in such a nice shape. And it's the most beautiful face that is displayed on the front of it. And that sweet, flirty smile there.
Hey, Dame.
What is it,
Yeah,
Dame?
what is it?
Yeah,
You're
what
like,
is it?
stop leading us on. Tell
Try to
us
guess
what
what
it
it
is.
A cute little guitar. And it only has 2 strings, but to me, it's just perfect.
Oh, I remember that back in the day.
Yeah, it's cool. But I actually took it with me to one of his concerts recently, and I did not know that I would get it signed by him. And that's a long story in itself, but this is one of my favorite pieces. And whenever there's a tornado warning, guess what I grab before I go down to the cellar? Yes, and it's priceless to me, and I want to know some of your treasures that you have like it.
Well, Dame, that is a treasure. And you better
Big
hope I
time.
don't get out to Oklahoma anytime soon.
Exactly. And thank you for sharing what was in your closet today. And we're all looking forward to the next episode to Dame's Closet to see what you're going to share with us. Make sure everybody follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook page and
Twitter,
Twitter, and soon to come, TikTok.
ShaunSquadSociety@gmail.com.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's been quite an afternoon for me. And for the 18,000 teenagers, pre-teenagers, grown-ups, grandparents, boys and girls who have been here at the Checker Dome this afternoon, Shaun Cassidy has been a dream come true.
The Shaun Squad Society podcast, including past, present, and future versions, and its content are owned and controlled by the Shaun Squad Society. The views and opinions are solely those of the Shaun Squad Society podcast. The Shaun Squad Society podcast is written, produced, and recorded in Chicago at the Borden Studios. We may think we are always right, but we will get something wrong from time to time. So we assume no responsibilities for errors or omissions of content.